Settle down, open your storybooks up. Turn around, a man's heart out of luck. Put on the crown, pick up the girl, another life lives in this world. Don't brush over the pain.
Welcome to Original Minds, an Intrizio podcast. Most artists aren't failing because they lack talent. They're failing because they don't take themselves seriously. Everybody says they want this, but their actions don't match it. What does not taking it seriously mean? Is it inconsistent recording, treating music like a hobby, people not investing in themselves, or posting once and expecting results? What do you think?
I think a lot of people love the idea of being an artist, but not the work behind it.
What do you mean by that?
What does that mean?
Just because you're passionate about something, if you don't work on that passion, how do you expect to succeed? If you don't put the time in, if you consistency.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing. It's usually a lack of time put in, a lot of hours that need to be put in to learn about the craft, to appreciate the craft. I think that's what builds the most quality in anything that you do, honestly.
And just having a mindset to where when you work on something, you're working on it to get it done, not to put it off and do it later.
Right.
And having the discipline of that to be able to be like, I got this done today. This is what I need to work on tomorrow.
Doing things to completion, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually finishing what you started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lack of consistency, I think, is a big problem for a lot of people. Lack of pressure on yourself, I think, is a huge thing. I don't think
That's
people
very
apply
true.
enough pressure on themselves.
That's very true.
True.
I think that's a big thing that a lot
Yeah.
of people lack. And that can push you like very far in your life if you just have a certain like action about you, like you're trying to get whatever it is done and you're actively working towards that. Being passive in your life kind of puts you at pause.
Right.
And that's what holds you back from being like what you could be.
Right.
I always try to think that it's always harder than I think it is to do anything, and so it's going to take a lot more work than I think it is. And I
Right.
try to keep that mindset,
That's a good
because
way
if
to
you
think.
think it's easy, you're going to be foolishly mistaken, and you're not going to get by just doing the bare minimum.
Right. Like if you don't start now, when will you ever start? Type of thing. Like if you don't start caring about it now, when will you ever start caring about it?
Being passive is a huge problem. I mean, we've been passive before, and
Yeah, I have.
you
I
waste a lot of
definitely have.
time kind of just waiting for things to come to you when you don't realize that you've got to go out there, you've got to find it. And yeah, that's a big problem. Some people want to take it seriously, but they're not. They're not investing in themselves the way they should be. They kind of treat it like a hobby.
I kind of think that people start songs and beats but don't finish them. It's usually about a lack of a follow through, honestly. It can come from various aspects, though. It could be a feedback thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could be like not being able to handle the different criticisms that you might get of whatever you're trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like you might feel so passionate about what you're doing, you might be
Yeah.
blind to the outside
Yeah.
noise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you can go in and be feeling the song, and then maybe once you kind of get that outside reaction, now you don't feel it so much, and then you give up or don't care to actually put
Yeah.
the work in to make it better.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They base it too much. There was something I told somebody, and it was, you can't base everything off inspiration. You can't just, if you're only going to base it off being inspired, that inspiration is going to fade away. I saw that on a video at some
I
point.
like that.
And so you've got to be able to do it when when it doesn't feel good, when it doesn't feel right, when you're not inspired, when maybe you go in and you thought you were going to have a great studio session, and then it turns into, man, this is boring, this kind of sucks. I don't know if I thought I was going to be able to do something cool. But even in those moments, that's where you have to kind of even dig deeper, work harder.
Right.
That's kind of what we were talking about earlier, where we were saying that you kind of have to humble yourself in the studio.
True.
Like you have to ground yourself. Let the session take you where you want to go.
Speaking on humility, I wanted to say that real fast. Speaking on the humility, yeah, you can't come in thinking you know it all. You can't come
Right.
in believing that you can't, you know everything. You got to be able to accept criticism and accept coaching and accept people
Yeah,
being able to tell you,
my
hey, man,
thing
why don't you
is-
try it this way?
My thing is, you just have to be coachable. You have to be able to be like, If somebody tells you, hey, I think you should do this another way.
Honestly, I think that's one of the most important like skills you should have as a person.
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
being
have
coachable.
to be coachable.
You have
like,
to.
That's very vital
have
for
to
you
be
to pick up any skill and learn anything and get the basis down of anything. You have to be able to listen to what other people
And
think.
also take criticism.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's things that you do not want to hear, but guess what? You have to take
hear
that.
it.
You have to look inside yourself and think about why they're saying that and how can I change.
Some of the hardest conversations and the hardest things to hear are the most important things to hear. Now, speaking of people not taking it seriously, Big B, I mean, do you have any examples maybe of when you've been in the studio of an artist not taking it seriously?
Yeah, myself. There's been times where I've come in the studio.
Yourself? No way.
Not Big B.
There's been times when I come in the studio and I necessarily don't have a direction or I
Right.
don't know what I want to do. So like,
Kind of like letting the wind take you.
yeah,
that
like
day.
just feeling what's going on.
Right.
The times I do have a plan and I do know what's going on, that's when I get things done.
You've got to have direction, right?
You gotta have a plan. You gotta have where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you gonna get there? Like, how am I gonna be able to record a song if I don't know what type of song I want to record?
Exactly. I can instantly hear when someone didn't practice or didn't come in prepared, wasn't doing anything
for
towards them coming into the studio and just shows
Right.
up and is trying to
Just
show
not
up and just
prepared.
think they're going to make something great out of nowhere.
Right. Kind of like
That's not how it
working their way
works.
through the session as
Yeah.
it goes.
And you're
Yeah.
wasting time if you're paying for a studio session. Like, that's just
It's a
stupid.
waste of time.
Why are you wasting both of our times?
That's true.
I think artists showing up unprepared, sometimes, like I said, they're wasting time, not practicing beforehand. And then, sometimes they expect me to fix everything as the engineer.
Right. Expecting the engineer.
Fix it in the mix.
The mix
bro.
and master that can fix everything.
Auto-tune does not make you sound perfect.
Right.
If you suck at singing and can't even sing anywhere near the key, the auto-tune is not magically going to make you sound like Michael Jackson.
Right.
That's true.
You-
You've
Gymnastics
got
to
to
go.
have
I've
some
learned that.
kind of idea of how to use your voice to be able to make those effects even work well in your favor.
But the people that come in prepared, I feel like you can tell in the first 10 minutes who's serious about their craft and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
Some people come in here just to post pictures rather than work, bro.
There's a whole different mindset to those people who are serious and those people who aren't. And
I'm in the studio.
like we were talking about people appearing busy. Yeah, people
Yeah,
appearing busy and not being busy.
I'm
And
in the studio.
how many times have you seen the studio session where you see 3 pairs of legs and it says locked in, loading, or
Locked in, loading, got
I've
the
definitely
Instagram
posted a couple of those, but I was locked in. I was loading,
caption. Right.
But
and so yeah, there's a lot of people who just want to be here for more of a vibe effect and an aura effect and tell people that they were here than actually do anything with it.
Right.
definitely, yeah.
It's for the
definitely.
vibe.
But
at
those
that
aren't
point.
people who are serious in their craft. Those aren't people who actually care to make music. Those are people who are just, once again, I think they're just a little inspired and they're having a phase, going through something they think is cool. I remember, I don't have a specific studio example, but I'll tell you this. Back when 614 was going on a few
Oh,
years
man.
ago, I always
Back
had a
in the
glass of
day.
whiskey on my desk. I used to drink all the time during studio sessions. I can tell you this. When I had a bad client compared to a good client, I had the entire bottle on the desk. The amount of times you have to press record over and over again when someone comes in and thinks
Yo,
they're
bro.
going to freestyle and they're freestyling the first bar over and over again, and I'm just having to redo,
over.
and then on top of that too, it's just like it's mental torture, like to say the least. Dealing with someone who has no idea what they're doing, and then on top of that is a little bit ignorant, I guess. I hate to be rude, but people who don't want to listen to anything, and so they just
True.
want to do it their way, and they don't care to hear
Not
anything
being
you have to say.
coachable.
And it makes it very difficult. It makes it very unenjoyable for both of us. And that was one thing I had to learn and trying to focus on. Maybe as what we're doing now is understanding the type of clients you want to work with.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that happens? Why do you think people show up to the studio with like a lack of a direction?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think sometimes I'll say this. Sometimes it's not the artist's fault, and it's very rare. But sometimes it's not the artist's fault because sometimes people don't have direction, and they need direction. I know in the past beforehand, as me as a studio or running a studio, I can't expect to not also try to provide a plan. I mean, if you're going to invite someone to record with you, you should be asking them what their sound is like, what they're
Right.
working on.
Right.
And you should be able to understand who they are, so that way you know what to come in and
I think
have
that's
them
a
send
big
beats in
change
advance.
within
Have them,
Trizio too. That
Yeah.
we've added that we're asking like clarifying questions on what type of sound you'd like, giving us things like
Reference
3 different
tracks.
reference tracks, maybe artists that you like, things that
Right.
would help us build your sound and know what type of sound you're gonna
Exactly.
come
I
in
mean,
with,
that's the
what type
idea.
of energy.
We want, what we did wrong the first time is that we didn't care enough. And we're trying to care more and show you that we're actually
Right.
here is to help you make your sound
I think
better.
that's the honest part.
And if
about it.
I'm going to help take your vision inside your head and even have an attempt of bringing it to life,
Right,
I have
develop
to
you as an
understand.
artist.
I have to understand
Right.
who you are.
we have to
And at least
understand where, like,
Yeah.
I feel like
your
our
makeup.
I feel like our thing
What
now
makes
is
you
just
you.
like
Mhm.
how you want to be conceived as an artist. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
like
Basically,
how do you
like-
want to tell your story?
Like, what's your vision?
Yeah.
We want to know your vision.
And
'Cause
I think having that plan also allows both of us to be a little more comfortable and know
Yeah.
what we're doing once we get in.
That's
It
true.
also
Right.
saves time, once again, because that's
Right.
those 20 minutes of the process of trying to
we-
get to know each other.
Right.
You can handle all of that over a message, instant message on your phone. But I think a big thing with that too is it allows you to be more prepared. And sometimes people come in unprepared because there's a fear they have for maybe being judged, or they don't know what they're doing, and so
It could
people,
be
it's maybe they're not even unprepared, but they think they're prepared, but then they show up and now they're stumbling over themselves. They're
Right.
having to redo things because they're not comfortable and they're not.
Right. I think
It takes
that's-
vulnerability.
I think that's human nature, though, a fear of like not being accepted by your peers, because I think that's what everybody wants, honestly.
True.
Yeah, and it's hard, especially when you're doing a craft like this and you're pouring part of yourself out.
Right.
Like I said, it takes a vulnerability, and if someone just you are vulnerable, and then someone instantly says that sucked,
Right.
I remember.
that hurts deeply.
Right.
I remember back in the early days, like when I started making music, I used to get pressed.
Upset. Yeah.
I used to get
Yeah.
upset when people used to say, "I don't like that song." It's like, bro, why you don't like this song? I like this song. And like,
Right.
not realizing like
It's good.
everybody
criticism,
has
though.
different music tastes.
Right.
And everybody's not gonna like a song that you like.
That's the beautiful thing about music. That's why
Yeah.
it's the art is so like impactful. Not everybody has the same music taste. Everybody likes different things, but
That's
we
how-
still find value in the songs that we like.
But I had to learn how to put my feelings aside
Right.
from the art.
Right. And
Everybody
you have to be able to
everybody
separate
perceives
two
the art
things.
different, so I can't
Right.
get mad when somebody says they don't like a song that I made. Go back to the lab and work on it.
Exactly. You gotta think. I feel like in your head, like, why are they saying that?
Yeah.
How
You got to
can
be
I-
honest, an
Exactly.
honest
Yeah.
critic. You can't be an emotional critic.
Right.
To be an honest critic, you've got to really evaluate and say, okay, what could I do better? How can I improve? Understand where you may have missed the mark,
Right.
but don't beat yourself up over it.
I think that helps you like have a sense of your craft, though, like
Yeah.
getting the different like types of feedback from different people.
And people avoid that because they have to face who they actually are, and then they have to work on themselves to improve themselves.
Right.
And a lot of people, it's a difficult thing to improve yourself or to tell yourself, hey, like, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, and I need to do a little bit more, and I need to work a little bit harder at even getting to that point.
But another thing too, I think it's definitely like easier to say you're like grinding than like actually putting in reps.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. To be talking the talk, you have to walk the talk as well. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. Like I keep saying it, lay that foundation, build your pillars, build the house. Like you want to be able to like be grounded in what you're doing. Like I think that's so important for everybody.
Yeah, you've got to put in the time. You've got to put in the work,
Exactly.
and
you have to
you
know
got to
why
have
you're
that
doing
foundation.
what you're doing.
You got to have that structure.
Right.
That's a
Exactly.
repeated theme that we've been going through.
Exactly.
Structure.
If you-
The
if
absence
only-
of structure is so crucial.
If you only work when you feel like it, how you gonna grow?
You're not. How many hours?
How you,
You got to
you
put in
gotta
the
grow.
time. You got to put in the hours. You cannot get good without putting in the hours.
yeah, you have to put in
And
the work.
I think that it builds like that baseline to return from, like when your challenges start like arriving, when they start stacking up and acclimating. I think like having that baseline to go back to.
It's like a adversity baseline, kind of maybe. Like
Yeah,
you
like
know
it
how
keeps
to
you
go through a hard,
grounded.
difficult thing, and so now you know how to
Exactly.
overcome
Yeah.
the next challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you can't conquer one hard thing, how are you going to
how can
conquer
you-
the
it's
next?
Yeah.
Keeping faith that you know enough about your craft and you know you're doing what you're doing. for a good cause, for a good reason,
Right.
in your heart.
And to even bring it back to music, like if you don't feel like recording that day, like you still have to do it. Like you still have to do it. Even if you don't get what you're gonna get out of it, I feel like you still have to do it. Because like there's gonna be times when you can't do it at all.
Yeah. And this is talking to people who say they want to make it in music, to people who want to be artists, because it's not just a hobby. If you want to treat it as a hobby, you can. But if you're going to turn this into a career or turn this into something that you believe can actually be worthy of something,
Right.
you've got to switch
to
the
work at
mindset.
it.
You've got to change your perspective and
work
make
at
sure
it.
that it's treated like a
Consistency.
job, like
Treat
a
it
career.
like a business.
A business, exactly. Nothing's going to grow on its own. Nothing's going to, you can't wait for things to happen. You've got to go out and do the work.
But also like allow yourself to make mistakes, but just know why you're making the mistakes. And assess why you're making the mistakes and then build off of that.
Failure, you've got to fail. I think
Yeah.
that was one of the things we mentioned, is being able to fail and fall on your face, but pick
That's
yourself
so
back up.
important. I think that's so important. Like, it's so many things in life. Like, you have to experience everything. Like, the failures make you grow.
Yeah.
Like, they make you.
We've been doing this for what, 6 years now,
Yeah.
and we're not very much farther than we were 6 years ago, but we've learned a lot through every single failure we've had.
Exactly.
True.
Every single task we've had, almost every single thing we've done up to this point has been a failure, theoretically, if you put it into a perspective and into
Right.
under an umbrella. The 52 songs in 52 weeks we unfortunately didn't finish. We made it to song 41, but the things we learned through dropping 41 songs, we made 60 songs. Unfortunately, we just couldn't drop.
70.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just didn't want to
Just
drop
couldn't
songs
drop
that were regressing in quality.
Right.
And so we decided to call it quits there because we
don't wanna
got
sacrifice
what
the
we
quality.
needed
Weren't
to
giving
get,
our all
and
into
we
it.
felt like we learned what we needed to learn.
But the
we
structure
failed.
helped us. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, that structure
It's a
helped it.
learning
It allowed
experience.
us to work within a tiny amount of parameters and try to produce more
And
with
show
a
that
small limited
you
amount
can
of time.
do more than you think.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Exactly.
really put your
If you
mind to it.
fast track, if you did this in a day, how many songs can you do?
Exactly.
Like, so I would say that the 52 songs, the
Yeah.
52 songs in 52 week, it helped me.
It was a lofty goal, though. That's the thing that I was talking about. I really think that as long as you like form and can articulate an achievable goal for yourself, right? You getting these little goals and these little victories over and over,
Yeah.
they can push you to get new results that'd be very beneficial for you. You just have to be consistent in trying to make this happen. I got this promotion. Now I'm doing this. You got to make it a habit of trying to achieve something. I feel like the chase is so important, if that makes sense. Like that,
Yeah.
that's what keeps us going. You have to, there's got to be, what we like to say in our family, it's our why. What is your why? What is the reason that you're doing what you're doing? If you're out here just moving just because, just doing whatever, you're not living right.
Exactly.
We have to have a why.
A purpose.
A purpose.
Yeah, a reason. I think, that's extremely important.
Gotta have a reason.
So,
I want to have like a real talk with y'all. I think that the first and foremost, the thing you have to do is appreciate yourself before anyone else can.
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
I think in terms of music, most artists don't even need like the exposure. They just need discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like just building that structure of, oh, I'm doing this for this hour. I'm gonna learn about this. I'm gonna learn about that. That'll like, you'll improve your habits daily, and it'll build like,
For sure.
you know what I'm saying?
But also you learning and growing at the same time as you're doing music is a big thing for me. Like you get to learn at the same time as you, I could do this. I could do this different.
Right. As you're going.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you make a certain type of song, it might build onto something that you pull back from in a new song.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what does taking it seriously mean?
I feel like an artist is taking it seriously when they're making the habit of not just doing just the work in the studio, taking it
Right.
home, making sure that like
Taking the time.
they're brushing up on different like,
Like you said,
types
it's
of genres.
discipline, and so
Yeah.
doing things outside of that as well. Like you said, it's more than just showing up. You need to be prepared, and so
you need to show for
I
yourself.
say it's just taking the time to actually work on their voice and not just record songs.
yeah.
Like,
Are you
actually doing
practicing on
vocal
learning how to sing
warm-ups,
better?
things
Yeah.
like that.
Are you practicing how to write better?
Right.
Or if
I
you're
would
playing
say-
an instrument, if you're producing some of your music, are you practicing that instrument? Are you learning on how to grow in that aspect?
I would say specifically for us, I think the use of those vocal warm-ups did like help bring out like a better like performing voice, if that makes
I would
sense.
say so.
Brings our delivery.
Yeah.
We allow
Exactly.
ourselves to be able to really
You can
let
be
the emotions
punctual,
out.
you can
Yeah.
show like your actual
True.
like emotion, if that makes
I
sense.
feel like it's taking the time to understand how your voice works,
Right.
and then using that as a tool to be like, okay,
Because you can always
Yeah.
still educate yourself. Like
True.
that's the thing. I think that's a big thing too. Like as long as you're educating yourself on the topics,
Yeah.
like
You-
it could do wonders for you.
Educating yourself on your topics, educating yourself on your inspirations as well,
Right.
and studying the people that inspire you and the sounds that inspire you, so that way you can learn how to imitate that
Because everything's
and not
changing.
just copy it, but
But
take
be
from
better.
it and be able to create your own sound and
right.
use that
be
sound.
unique about it.
Yeah.
be able to take what you love and use it to your advantage.
There's so many little things that outside of just creating music that I think you need to actually become a successful artist. And unfortunately, there's also a bunch
do
of
you
little
mean by
things
that?
we don't enjoy. I mean, things like obviously a content. Now
Right.
we have to
Yeah.
focus on content. You have to focus on marketing yourself because music
very
is
important.
oversaturated and
True.
it's very it's posted daily. There's 10,000 songs posted every day.
Of
There's
course.
some
You have to
sort of
find other
statistic in that.
avenues, other
So how are
avenues,
you going to
yeah.
get it heard? How are people going to care about what you
What
have to
makes
drop?
you different than
And
the
what
next
makes you
person?
different. And people don't realize that that's something you have to dwell on every day, because you are not going to just randomly come up with an idea on what's going to make you original. You have to work at it and plan it and try to figure it out and figure out what is it that's special about me and how am I going to get people to care about what I have to show to the world. You said you don't need exposure, you need discipline. You don't need a better mic. You need better habits. Posting
That's
every
true.
day doesn't matter if the music isn't improving either.
Yeah,
A lot of people want results without putting in
results.
real work. So build your habits, improve your habits, and improve your music. Number one, nothing matters if the music isn't good. You can build all these plans, and you can. I think people get caught up even in not just doom scrolling, but like I forgot what the word or the term for it is, but like inspiration scrolling, where people just get caught up in looking at inspiration and things that motivate them, but then they're not actually doing anything to get motivated. They get that
Ooh, I've
dopamine
never
rush of
thought
being
about that.
motivated.
I like that.
And so now people feel like they're not just killing their mind, but they're not doing anything with the information they're intaking.
Right.
And so you've got to you can build a whole plan on how you're going to be a better artist. You can say you're going to do this, say you're going to do this, but if you're not doing it, if you're not actually
have
improving
to
the
put the
music,
work in.
and unfortunately, if the music isn't good and you are not the only judge of if the music's good or not, you have to go
Yeah.
get real feedback. You have
Have
to go
to.
listen to people, and I'm sorry if you're scared.
You have to go
You
get
gotta
bad
go put it
criticism.
out there and
You
go
have to be
be
vulnerable.
willing to
You have to
accept
go
that
get
someone
bad
tells you
criticism.
this is trash.
Right.
Throw it away.
And take
Can
it
you
back
take
in the
that
vault.
straight to the face
Straight
right
to the
now? If you
face.
were to hand somebody your song and they told you this is trash,
Yeah,
How
I
would you
could.
handle that?
yeah.
How would I handle it?
How would you handle that, Big B?
I'll probably be like, you know what? Feelings aside, I got to go back to the lab and work.
Right.
I got to get back in the lab. I got to do something different to make this work. Even if I go back to the lab and I do everything I can to make it work and they still don't like the song, I'm gonna just be like, hey, got to be better. You know?
Let me pose this to y'all. When you get that negative feedback or that negative criticism, instead of like just responding to them, respond to them with a question. Ask
Yeah.
about why they feel like that.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
think
way to
I-
put it. Don't
you have to. Don't
immediately
put your
respond to
feelings
questions.
into
Yeah,
it.
that understand why they said that.
I think trying to get down to the root of why they're saying that could help you. You could find some answers in that rather than
Like,
being
how
a
can
little
I be
upset at
better?
them.
Most people aren't just gonna say that just to be an asshole.
Right.
Right.
Most people.
They're trying to make you better in a sense.
Right.
Yeah,
And it could do wonders for you. You just
Right.
gotta find the answers in that response.
absolutely.
That's true.
I think a good thing to think about too, as well as that, and understanding, being able to take honest criticism.
Right.
Something I tell myself, and I'm a pretty harsh critic on myself, but I
Same.
try not to beat myself up. But you're not as good as you think you are, and you've got to do better. I repeat that to myself over and over again
I do
because
the same
I
thing.
tend to
You gotta
get
humble
cocky.
yourself.
And if I don't humble myself, exactly. If I don't humble myself and tell myself, hey, you're not as good as you think you are, the second you start feeling yourself too
You
much,
don't want a big head.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not.
it gets
We
you
seen
nowhere.
It gets you
I mean,
nowhere.
like-
It could get you in worse positions. Actually,
I've gotten a big head. Like
All right,
back
eh.
in 614, I had a big head, bro.
we are human.
But I understand and I've learned like, yo, knock yourself down a couple. You know, like you're not that guy right now.
I think it's a maturity
you
thing
know,
too.
you just gotta
be able to
understand-
humble yourself.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you gotta understand like everything ain't promised, bro. Like this
You
could
gotta
all
go get
go
it.
away.
Back to what we were
This
talking
could
about.
all be
in an
taken
earlier
away
episode.
if you don't
have
if,
to go
if,
get it.
If
Yep.
if you don't work at it now, this could all be taken away. So like,
We don't
Don't
know
take this for
how
granted.
long we have.
yeah,
So why are we not making the most of it? Like,
True.
Genuinely.
Exactly. You could die tomorrow.
No one knows. So we're going to live
What did
it.
I'ma
I
live to my
saw a
fullest.
quote from The Rock that said, "You're going to die on a day just like any other day, where people are going to work and people aren't going to notice and people aren't going to remember you, and it's not going to be a special day. It's going to come on a
Right.
random day at a random time, and so you've got to be willing to just make the most of what you've got. The second you think you have it all figured out is the second you fall behind.
facts.
Oh, I love that.
Always believe that there's more to learn. Going back to being coachable.
Never stop growing.
Never believe that you're a guru or a master at anything. Always have that willingness to learn and be like, maybe there's something else I could know. And learn deeper, because there's always something deeper. What was it? They thought the smallest thing was, it's been so long since I've been in school, I don't want to make myself sound stupid. What's smaller, a molecule or an atom? An atom, right?
And
They thought the smallest thing was a molecule, and
Yeah.
then 50 years later, like,
It's
no,
an
the
atom.
smallest thing's an atom. Because why? They looked deeper.
Right.
They didn't just give
There's
up.
so many things. That's what
also-
I'm saying. We got to educate ourselves.
and also in that, just
Everything
be
is changing.
be willing to take knowledge from other people. Be willing to listen and understand.
That idea might push you to a whole
Yeah.
nother genre or a whole nother idea, another platform that you didn't even think about that you could do.
Just be willing to listen. Have your ears open.
Look, did we think we would be doing a podcast anytime soon?
No.
No.
Look at us now.
And how do we even? We just started it.
Yeah, this was
It
random.
literally, we started it 24 hours before, and we're like, all right, let's just do it. And we've now 4 weeks in, and we're staying with it, just
Come on
cause.
now.
Yeah.
There's nothing pretty about it. It's just showing up and doing it.
Bro.
Right.
But we've built a structure and a plan to be able to accomplish this, so that way we're not coming in unprepared.
And it's being consistent. Consistency makes the hard days less taxing because there's solace in the work you put in.
Yeah. You know what to look for.
I think we mentioned it a couple episodes ago that you don't feel good unless you do something difficult. You feel the best when you've done something difficult after that, and you've
Right.
accomplished it, and you really got through it. And so you've got to allow yourself to, when something difficult comes, change your mindset of why do I have to do something that's hard to, wow, what can I learn from this? And what am I going to be able to do? And how is this going to make me better than I was before? So some advice, that we've had to give ourselves, and I'd love to share with anyone else, is build a routine. Practice more than you post, more than you talk, and be honest about where you're at. Be honest about your level, and focus on improvement first. Don't focus on those results. Don't focus on criticism is important, but at the end of the day, don't focus on where you're at and the views and what the majority of the people have to say, because you don't have to listen to what everyone has to say.
You can't get caught up in like the media aspects of it.
No.
Like
numbers.
You need to be like
Numbers and
making
the
music for
likes.
you,
Yeah.
for how like your personal expression. It needs to be about you first and foremost.
Has to be authentic.
Yeah, we
Before-
said
Has to be authentic.
absolutely.
Has to come from a place where people are knowing, like, oh, this guy has a story.
and he's
This-
trying to tell
this-
it.
This person has a story, like, and they're trying to tell it, and I want to listen to it.
Right.
Like, it has to be that type of thing. It has to be real.
Yeah. We said earlier that the music has to be good, but if you know when the music's good, and you know in
Right.
your heart if it's good or not, and as long as you truly believe that it's good and you enjoy it, who cares what anybody else has to say at the end of the day? If you've taken the feedback and the criticism, you've improved your song to your best ability, but you're like, you know what? I like it the way it is. I really
Right.
enjoy it.
Drop it.
Then drop it. I know for a
I
fact
believe in that.
that
Drop
like
it.
we've dropped
Like,
songs
I
before in
think-
the past too that maybe we could have improved on and gotten better, but we enjoyed it, and we also knew the stage where we were at, and we're like, we can just improve from this. It doesn't have to be a
Exactly.
perfect song right now. We can drop
can
this song
always come
now,
back.
and then we can go back, or we can just continue to elevate our sound. And this
Right.
is what it was meant to be for this time
It was
period.
a stepping stone to get where we wanted to be, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I love bad quality music. I like keeping all of my stuff up as well because I love seeing the progress.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not
it's a
trying to
humility thing
fabricate
me.
the journey. I want it to be
it's-
real.
It's authentic and it's real, and it shows like quality from like where you were at to where you're at now and where you're trying to get to. If that
Exactly.
And
makes
that's the
sense.
thing. That's the thing I struggle with. Is like, yo, as much as I wanted to run from that old EP, it's still on my Apple Music.
Look.
It's still gonna be on my Apple Music.
There's bangers on
And-
the EP.
Yeah.
Ben's not gonna let me take it down.
I don't delete music. I had another artist come to me and say, hey, I don't want these 2 songs on my page. And I was like,
Look.
I'm sorry, but you featured on them. They're my songs that I dropped. They're not being deleted.
Come on now.
I don't control what Apple puts on your page. They're the ones that put it on your page because you featured on them. So sorry.
You
But
chose to hop on this
the
song.
point is, it's the journey. It's to show where you're at. Like I said, you can't play pretend. If you take yourself seriously, everything changes. Your sound, your work ethic, and how people see you.
Nobody's gonna take you serious if you don't start taking yourself serious.
Are you actually working, or are you just saying you are?
I think there was Miles, can you pull up a quote for me?
Yo, Miles.
Something I saw earlier this week.
Miles in the cut.
Miles in the cut.
Episode 4 for life.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, this was the quote I saw, and I'd love to share it with everyone. And it's, I looked in your cup to see if you had enough. You looked in mine to see if I had more than you. That difference says everything. What does that mean to you? Don't get caught up comparing yourself to other people.
Don't get lost in the hype.
Comparison is a thief of joy, brothers
Said
and
it
sisters.
Focus on yourself. Focus on your improvement. Focus on taking yourself seriously. And once again, there's nothing pretty about it. All it is showing up every day and doing the work.
Day
And
by day,
the results will speak for themselves.
brick by brick, we lay it down.
And
And
the
when
world,
it's done,
God, and everything aligns the way it should. Timing works out the way it's supposed to be.
it'll be beautiful.
Consistency.
As long as you focus on yourself and know true in your heart that you're doing what you need to do,
The success
all
will
work
show.
out.
The success
Yeah.
will show. The work will be shown. You'll see the progress.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Just put in that effort. Put in that time.
Take the first step to doing what you want to do. How about that? And then come back to us and let us know how that went.
Let us
How
know.
about that?
yeah.
Take that first step and
Get to
then
the winning.
see how your life changed.
Get to the winning.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing that we're trying to offer as well, is that we're trying to show people that
You
there's
can
more
develop.
to you than you think there is, and you
Right,
can develop yourself. We're trying to be more than just a studio. That's what we're trying to do with Intrizio. We want to help you record faster, sound better, and finish songs. We're trying to take beginner artists and make them sound like finished artists, polished artists.
Right.
We
Right.
believe that talent exists, but the development is rare. And we're trying to
You
bridge
have to
that
work
gap.
towards that.
I know at a point in our lives, none of us were naturally gifted, naturally talented. We all had to learn these things. We all had to work
Right.
at it.
True.
And
They're all skills
I-
that have to be attained.
I gave a shot on myself. I couldn't sing worth a damn 7 years ago. I couldn't rap. I couldn't write very well.
Right.
Big B couldn't sing very well. Big B
Yeah.
was just starting. Were people that you wouldn't think just to look at us that we
Right.
would be making music.
True.
Exactly.
And we've now, just through belief and through a little bit of hard work and the fact that it's been 6 years and we're still going at it. And we've met a
Right.
lot of people who looked a lot more serious than we were, who have now given up and are nowhere. And we're the ones still around trying to do the work and trying to make something of it. Why? Because we love it and this is what we want to do. And we care. And that's what we're trying to show other people, is that we care for you if you think that you can be something of yourself, if you're willing to take yourself seriously. This has been episode 4 of Original Minds, an Intrizio podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Safety.
Peace.
Good night. Guys, make sure to follow us at Intrizio on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, at Ben Low, at Devoid Big B, at Rocket_Power with an
Yeah.
X.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got studio sessions open. We're fully trying to promote the brand. If you'd love to connect with us,
sir.
we're in the DFW area. Once again, we're more than just a studio. We want to help you grow. We want to coach you. We want to try to be more than just the person who gives you files. So if you're wanting to learn, if you're wanting to work with people who just are here to create and
Share
elevate
the
your
same
creativity
mindset.
and share the same mindset, reach out to us.
Yep.
Connect with us. Let's talk and have a conversation first.
Don't be a stranger.
Let's get to know each other. But yeah, we're out here and we'd love to reach out and see more people and connect with more people. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, we'd appreciate if you repost it, liked, and shared.
Facts.
It's on Spotify and YouTube and hopefully Apple Podcasts soon.
Yes,
And
Lord.
if you get a chance, check out our music.
Always.
We on everything.
New projects coming soon.
Yes,
New
sir.
videos, new content.
There's
Lots of new things in the
great
works.
songs
Some-
about
some-
to drop.
Some heat in the vault.
Different types of songs. Real beautiful work about to be put out.
Yes, sir.
Y'all just wait on it.
All right, guys. Well, we thank you once again. Y'all take care.
Peace.
One.
We could go if you wanted to. Open doors down the avenue. Hold your horses, I've got no clue. My sweet rue, what did I do to you? could go if you wanted to. A splintered soul, you don't have to choose. I've left a toll, where's my ticket? I've got nowhere left to go. My sweet rule, what can I do for you?